Hey everyone, it's Saturday morning, January 31st, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. All right, let's get started. So, yesterday was another rough day for U.S. stocks. Investors got nervous after President Trump said he plans to nominate Kevin Warsh to lead the Federal Reserve. That news, mixed with a stronger dollar and a sudden stop in the metals rally, really shook things up. The Standard & Poor's 500 slipped about 0.4%. The Nasdaq dropped around 0.9%, and the Dow also fell roughly 0.4%. Tech stocks once again led the way lower. Now, even with yesterday's drop, January still ended slightly positive for most major indexes. But here's the thing. Both the Dow and the Nasdaq just posted their third losing week in a row. The Standard & Poor's 500, on the other hand, managed to snap its losing streak and gained about 0.3% over the past 5 days. A big reason for the market's nerves is Kevin Warsh himself. He's known as someone who's pretty tough on inflation and interest rates. Recently, though, he sounded more open to rate cuts, which lines up with what Trump has been pushing for. Still, investors aren't sure what kind of Fed leadership this would really mean. Meanwhile, the US dollar moved higher on the news, and that put serious pressure on metals. Gold dropped below $5,000, and silver crashed as much as 25% in one day, the biggest drop on record. That hot metals rally basically slammed the brakes yesterday. On top of that, trade worries are back. Trump threatened a 50% tariff on Canadian aircraft imports and said the U.S. could block new jets from Canadian manufacturers. He also warned about new tariffs on countries supplying oil to Cuba, including Mexico. So, yeah, trade tension is officially back in the spotlight. Now, let's talk earnings. Apple shares moved higher after the company reported results. Profits beat expectations thanks to strong iPhone sales. But CEO Tim Cook warned that a global memory shortage could hurt future margins. SanDisk jumped about 5% after giving optimistic guidance. Oil companies also had a decent showing, with Exxon and Chevron beating estimates by a small margin. And investors were also watching results from American Express and Verizon. So overall, yesterday was all about uncertainty, Fed leadership, trade risks, and a sudden shakeup in commodities. Markets are trying to figure out what comes next. All right, that wraps up today's Capital Markets Quickie. Join me again Monday morning for more market updates. See you then.